All right, if you're just arriving here, we've got a one-word check in the chat, which is why you see lots of singular, positive, superlative words appearing in the chat. Please put in your state of mind in the chat here. I'd love to hear how everyone's doing. Flourishing, inspired, hopeful, well-rested, ready, hopeful, excited, hopeful, lots of hope here. Ready, enthusiastic, happy, driven, grateful, excited, enthusiastic, curious, grateful, lots of gratitude, lots of excitement, and lots of hope here today. And I'm not surprised, because today meeting is going to be hosted by our wonderful senior fellows. Today is a working groups spotlight in which we will have the opportunity to learn more about what our various working groups are doing, the exciting work that they're up to. I'll just share a link in the chat right now to information on the working groups, which is on the Human Flourishing Program's website, and also to further information on the network and our senior fellows who will be hosting today's meeting: Amrita, Bethan, Emmy, Katie, Christine, and Noemi. Here we go. And without further ado, I have no announcements to make now. I'll make some at the end. I leave you in very capable hands of our senior fellows.
Thank you, John. All right, so welcome everyone. Just a quick overview for today. We're going to start with a little bit of guided meditation to help us get into the flourishing mood. And then we'll do some introduction of the working groups. The chairs will just talk for 1 minute each, 1 to 2 minutes at the most. And then we'll do some breakout rooms. These sessions are going to be sort of hosted by the working group chairs, and we'll have rotating sort of spotlights. So you can pick 3 groups that you'd like to learn more about. We'll talk about the groups in those introductions. So that will be like a 30-minute introduction, or a 30-minute space into those breakout rooms, and then we'll have a little debrief at the end, and then we'll have just a few quick announcements. And so without further ado, I'm actually going to turn it over to Amrita Chaturvedi, who's going to be doing our introduction breathing and meditation activity.
All righty, well, I will take the opportunity then. Let's just briefly do a few minutes breathing before we start with the actual working group spotlight stuff. All right, let's get this started then. Just a few things. As we do the breathing, a few things to keep in mind. You're going to breathe in through your nose, and you're going to breathe out through your nose. The second thing is, as you breathe in, visualize your stomach like a balloon. So when you breathe in, it will expand. Anytime you exhale, it's going to contract like a balloon. Okay. And then 2 more things. I'm going to cue you through the process. I'm going to say inhale, expanding your stomach, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, contracting your stomach, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do that a few times, and then we'll do a few rounds of double breathing. This is what it's going to sound like. Inhale, expanding your stomach, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale very slowly, contracting your stomach, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All righty, let's get started. When you're ready, you're going to gently close your eyes, make sure you're seated comfortably, relaxing your shoulders, your facial muscles, your forehead. As you breathe in, expand your stomach. As you breathe out, you're going to contract your stomach. Inhale and exhale. We'll start with 5 to 10. Inhale, expanding your stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, contracting your stomach. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, expanding your stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, contracting your stomach. 6,
Thank
7,
you for calling
8,
Gastroenterology
9,
Healthcare Associates.
relaxing your shoulders, your facial muscles, loosening your forehead. We'll do 6 to 12. Inhale, expanding your stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale, contracting your stomach. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do that one more time. Inhale, expanding your stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale, contracting your stomach. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Relaxing your shoulders, facial muscles. We'll do 3 rounds of 5 to 15. Inhale, expanding your stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale very slowly, contracting your stomach. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, expanding your stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale very slowly, contracting your stomach. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One last time. Inhale, expanding your stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale very slowly, contracting your stomach. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Spend the next 30 seconds just meditating on a breath. As you breathe in, feel your stomach rise. As you breathe out, feel your stomach fall. Inhale and exhale. And this time, as you breathe in love and compassion for yourself. As you breathe out love and compassion for others. Inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, you're gonna rub your palms together, covering your face. Gently open your eyes, still covered, moving your palms when you're ready.
Great. Thank you so much, Amrita. I hope that was nice for everybody else. What we're going to do now is sort of transition into our breakout rooms, which are going to be hosted by our working group chairs. So we have just a order that we're going to go in, and I'm just going to call the working group chairs names. And when your name is called, if you can just talk to us a little bit about the working group and how it got started, or whatever it is that you want to share to sort of pique the interest of the new people potentially who are here. And as the rest of us are listening, start to think about what group you'd like to join, and pick 3 of them, because we're going to rotate 3 times. All right, so without further ado, why don't we start with the Leadership for Flourishing group, Katie and Emmy. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Christine. And apologies, everyone, that Katie can't be here today. She's with Matt at another conference, but she would have loved to be here. So we co-chair the Leadership for Flourishing group. It's been going for a couple of years now. It has been an immense privilege to be involved with this group. There are some incredible people doing amazing things. And I was pondering what to share in 1 minute, and actually I'm going to put my timer on so I don't overrun. But I think actually what came to mind, there's a lot of research out there, but I just wanted to share a story. So the last couple of days, I've had the privilege of spending time with some amazing people, and 2 particular women, one from Afghanistan and one from an area in Asia where there's not a lot of freedom at the moment. And we have been thinking about how do we empower leaders in these countries to make the world a better place. And we've just sat and cried together for 2 days about the cost of being a leader in some of these places, when you stand up, what it looks like. This amazing woman from Afghanistan was talking about her experience of kind of being a 12-year-old girl and knowing she was going to have to get married and trying to find a way to get an education, and yet being told that women couldn't lead, and then seeing her mum as this amazing leader who was giving her hope, and seeing these other amazing women leaders in Afghanistan, and this journey for her of working out what is leadership and does it require position or authority, and now how she's trying to inspire women refugees in a group in the United States to believe that they have already been leaders in the journeys they've taken and the risks and the courage they've shown. And now how they can take this experience of leadership and become leaders where they are now, even without status, how they can step up and make the world a better place. So I think our passion as a group, this Leadership for Flourishing group, is to help people really believe that leadership is about enabling human flourishing, and not just to believe it, but to put it into practice. A lot of us have got contacts with the Oxford Character Project and believe that that kind of leadership that's going to make the world a better place comes from that deep-rooted journey of character and becoming a better person. So we've got a whole group of people, researchers, people putting it into practice, and yeah, we're excited. If we want to make the world flourish, we've got to help our leaders be part of that, because they can create a huge amount of pain or a huge amount of joy and flourishing. And yeah, come and join us if you want to find out more.
Great. Thank you so much, Emmy. So again, that's Emmy and Katie, and the information is in the chat. So as each group presents, I will also put the blurbs in the chat. Okay, next group are the co-chairs for the Education for Flourishing and the Education, Spirituality, and Flourishing group. So I'm going to turn it over to Amrita, and I will chime in as well. So this is Amrita Chaturvedi, Beth Ann Tech, and myself, who lead the Education for Flourishing group, and Amrita, Lynn Swainer, and Karen Hall, who lead the Spirituality, Education, and Flourishing group.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you, Katie, for all the great work that you and Emmy, for all the great work that you and Katie are doing. So I'm just going to introduce the Education, Spirituality, and Flourishing group, and Christine, I'll let you introduce the Education for Flourishing working group. So that group, as Christine mentioned, is led by Lynn Swanner, Karen Hall, and myself. So we officially started this group in 2021. We met a few times, and then the realities of COVID hit, and we had to put a pause on that group. But in the last few months, we have kind of realized that now is the right time to kind of start this work again. And specifically, one of the things that we think about and we kind of look at is the high level of hopelessness that the younger generation is facing and experiencing. And it is our firm belief that spirituality can play an instrumental role in kind of addressing that hopelessness that the younger generation is facing in this day and age. So that's our driving force. And I hope that some of you will join us in our breakout session. We look forward to seeing you there. And Karen, I don't know if you're here or not. If you are, please feel free to introduce yourself. And I know Lynn couldn't make it today because she has another meeting.
I'm here, Amrita. Greetings, everyone. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Great, thank you, Amrita. And nice to meet you, Karen. All right, so the Education for Flourishing group, similar to the Leadership for Flourishing group, has been meeting now for a couple of years. We focus primarily in spaces, educational spaces, traditional and non-traditional spaces, in both K through 12 and also university. And we really look to integrate the domains of flourishing as articulated by Vanderweel into those educational spaces. And so we are working on some really interesting projects that we cannot wait to share with people. And so if you are an educator or somehow connected loosely to education, please come and join us and see how you can get involved in some of the projects that we're doing. All right. Excellent. And I'll put that in the chat. The next group is the Spirituality and Flourishing interest group. Is Kelly Murphy Mason here?
Hello. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Great.
Thank you, Christine. Hello, everyone. It's so good to see so many people here this morning interested in the work of human flourishing. So the Spirituality and Flourishing interest group is a newer group. We announced its formation in the spring, and we just started meeting in September, and we're already off to a strong start. It's an interdisciplinary and multi-faith group. We have an assortment of clergy people and educators, theologians, medical providers, and mental health professionals interested in looking at the ways that varieties of spirituality, both religious and irreligious forms, can be used in the promotion of human flourishing. So far this year, we've had presentations on Byzantine theology and its influence on economics and ethics, and a presentation on worship and affect, and the ways that religious services can be used to promote human flourishing. We have a presentation coming up later this year on love and how it promotes well-being across domains. So we have a couple of projects underway this year. We're hoping to have a resource website launched this spring, which will let people who share our interest in spirituality and flourishing have access to publications, peer-reviewed and otherwise, podcasts, academic training programs, and the like have access to it. And it'll basically be a peer-reviewed kind of website that the group is undertaking. We have about a dozen members currently. We can take up to 20 people. And we're going to really start the website design in earnest in January after the holidays. We're also going to be presenting to this network in May. So I have a PowerPoint presentation, which I can show to people who come to our small group. And we have members of the Spirituality and Flourishing Interest Group here this morning who can share some of their experience. And I'm really grateful to the Senior Fellows for hosting this morning. So thank you all. It's good to be here today.
Great. Thank you so much, Kelly. All right, next up is going to be Alex with the Educational Futures Interest Group.
Thanks so much. I'm growing this moustache for the month of November, so I'm sorry that the meeting is in a couple of days later than we're currently having it. Otherwise, I could speak to you without it being present. But the Education Futures Group, such an amazing group of people. We believe that our education system really isn't fit for purpose. It needs transformation, not reformation. And we think it's largely irrelevant and unresponsive to the challenges that youth face at the moment, and that youth are still acted upon by adults. There's a real lack of intergenerational space and intergenerational opportunity for young people and adults to come together and try to address some of those challenges that society faces. We've absolutely still got an industrialized model rather than an ecosystemic one. And that's absolutely in prevalence across the world, and lots of different educational models are really struggling in today's society. So we think education should be the centre of sustainable communities, and in the vast majority of cases, it's not. So our group is here to engage and inspire the world to think purposefully and creatively about educational futures in all of their multiplicity, in all of their different directions, and in all of that potential that we could imagine education to take. So imagining co-creating opportunities that could exist for educational transformation in every context, with a real belief right at the heart of it that education absolutely changes lives. And so this group is here to help co-create a flourishing youth for a thriving planet, which is absolutely required in today's society, we hope. So yeah, lots more information, but we'll have to join the sort of breakout group to find out that information. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you in due course. Yeah, Squadron Leader Alex signing off.
Great. Thank you so much. Our next group is the Flourishing at Work Interest Group.
Hi. Yeah, thank
Hi.
you.
Hi, Marie.
Hi. What an honor to be here and to be asked to support this wonderful conversation and connection. Thank you for the team to invite us and open this up. Indeed, we are going to focus on flourishing at work, which we believe, or I believe, and my team believes, that this is a business imperative, that most of us spend so much of our lives in some form of work or another. And the organizations that are comprised of very complex people, humans, coming together to achieve a goal through work, we need to help them, and we need to understand much more than we do. So we will go well beyond well-being. We're going to touch upon flourishing through the lens of work. And this is a great opportunity to marry the interests of the scientists, the researchers, the practitioners, and the people who have to help people through work. We're going to invite competitors. We're going to invite people who have different interests in this space together to have a very honest and forthright conversation about how do we help people. And so I welcome the conversation. We'll be having a series of meetings. This is a new group, a new focus. And with the announcement in Rome at Humanity 2.0 conference, I know that there's some familiar faces out there in the audience. Hi to those I partnered with there. And I look forward to inviting you to the table and inviting others as we uncover the challenges of employees at work. So thank you and appreciate this opportunity.
Great. Thank you, Marie. Right, we're going to move over to Noemi, who's going to talk about the Economics of Wellbeing and Global Human Flourishing Working Group, as well as the Sustainability and Organizational Human Flourishing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Christine. So quickly go over. So when you hear the Economics of Wellbeing and Global Flourishing, I know many of you were at our last inaugural symposium in July. The real essence of this group is looking at very similarly how we use research and data to measure human flourishing. We look at what it is that we are valuing as a society globally and beyond. And so our purpose is really to collectively reimagine an economics of well-being that is inclusive and accessible to all people. Traditionally, economics has been sort of a closed off space. And so looking at how we marry the metrics for value and how we redefine that in society, as well as measuring impact. So we're really looking at regenerative ecosystems with a lens on human sustainability. And our next symposium is February 28th. And I see some members here who hopefully will join us. Emmy, for example, will be sharing. And Wendy, I hope that you will be sharing as well, and many other members such as Andrew Nevin. And so an outgrowth of this group has been the Sustainability and Organizational Human Flourishing group. And so this is also a new interest group and very similar to the one we just heard about in terms of work. This interest group really looks at organizations as a space for transformation when it comes to the systems that we operate in society. And so shifting the duty of care from fiduciary duty to really looking at what does it mean to care and create the environment and the soil for human flourishing, not just today, but down 7 generations and many more beyond. And so looking at all the decisions we make now and its impact to all stakeholders, not just shareholders. And so recognizing the power of organizations to drive that change is the kind of work we'll be looking at. And looks like hopefully we will have Eileen McNeely as also a co-chair in the new year. And she heads Shine, which looks at sustainability in various enterprises at Harvard. So excited to chat more, and I will hand it back to you, Christine. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Noemi. All right, and last but not least, the Flourishing Measures group. Beth.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Beth Tech. I'm going to share a little bit about the Measures group. The Measures group was one of the inaugural, what we called at the time, working groups, now called the Community of Practice. We've been hibernating for the past year, I'd say. I'd echo what I think Amrita said about the realities of getting back and trying to be in the new normal of COVID. There was a pause, but we are back. And I'm sure Christine has already put the information in the chat, but I'll share a little bit more. At the time, we had come up with our own mission statement for the folks that were involved, because we really wanted to say what it was we were in search of and our purpose. And we were looking at ourselves as a multidisciplinary and multinational group of researchers and practitioners who combine science and real-world practice to define and measure human flourishing across settings. And so what our specific interests in the group are the measures and the ways in which we look at putting interventions or programs in place that support flourishing. We know that Tyler Vanderweel has his Domains of Flourishing Index, and that's a great measure for understanding a level at a certain time. However, I would posit that it's not the best measure when you put an intervention in place or a program in place and you're looking for movement. And so there's lots of other measures out there, and we're interested in hearing about people's experiences or their own homegrown measures, and talking about ways in which we can really use measurement to determine what is making a difference. So that is the primary purpose of the group. And like I said, it's multidisciplinary, so it's across all settings. My particular area is education and nonprofit. However, this extends into the work world with climate, as well as into the social world with intervention and community health. So I invite anyone who is interested, and the folks who were along with the group earlier in our years, to come back, and let's do this together. My hope is to get a page going on my website where I can index different measures that folks are using, so we have a central repository.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for your brief shares. What we would like to do now is to invite you to breakout rooms. John has set those up by the name of the group.
Christine, sorry, there's one more group, the Intervention Development Group.
I'm so sorry that I missed that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Easy, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much, Christine. So I'd like to share our slide. Okay, I think you're all seeing it. Can you see?
Yep,
the
we all
slide?
see it.
Yeah.
Yep, we see it.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to use the 1 minute to talk about the Intervention Development Group. And the group was set up September 2020. And the aims included the following: producing an intervention library and developing a guideline to apply the interventions to those who would be needing them. And then we've had activities so far from inception was monthly meetings, which we've been having, and then the development of the intervention library template, and also compilation of interventions. We've also had presentations by our members of the research or work related to flourishing. We've also invited experts to speak to us on flourishing, and we've also had seminars on flourishing for various groups. And then our next steps include the following: to create awareness of the presence of the intervention library, enable interested persons to view the library and share the interventions on the library if they want, and continue individual and groups research individual and group research related to interventions, and organize seminars, courses, programs, outreaches, etc., related to flourishing interventions, and then encourage presentations among our group members on their research and interventions developed by them, and then also produce the guideline that we referred to. So we're looking forward to seeing you in the breakout room where we'll talk more about our group. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right.
I just want to be very clear, Christine, will screen sharing be enabled in the breakout rooms for those of us who are chairs of groups?
I hope so. John, that's a question for you.
Yeah, if you can't for any reason, just send me a direct message and I will make you a co-host. I'm just setting up now breakout rooms for every single group. I think there's just one more need to set up, and that's the sustainability and organizational human flourishing. So just let me do that.
Christine, I'm wondering if we want to have either a shorter time or just 2 groups given the time.
Yeah, let's just do 2, and we'll do 10 minutes each. All right, so 2 rotations.
Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 groups: leadership for flourishing, education for flourishing, and education for spirituality in one group, spirituality and flourishing, educational futures, flourishing at work, economics of well-being and global flourishing in one group, flourishing measures, flourishing interventions, and sustainability and organizational human flourishing. Have I missed any?
Interventions.
All good?
Interventions
yeah,
group.
I mentioned that. That's there. Okay, I'm going to open all these up and I'll pop around the rooms to make sure everyone who needs to be a co-host is a co-host.
Thanks,
There we
John.
go.
Thank you.
You can
John.
pick your room.
Thank you. Yep.
So you should all see a list of 9 rooms. Please pick the one you want to join. This is a new Zoom experiment for us.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in both rooms at once. Can we merge?
Oh, they should be
I've merged your,
Yeah. You have?
yeah, I've
Okay,
merged
okay.
your two groups together.
Okay, great. So I join either one of them and I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Are we meant to be?
All right, welcome back, everyone. Just give it a moment while everyone rejoins. While everyone's rejoining, would love to hear in the chat something you're taking away from your discussion. All right, so while I'm describing making some announcements, everyone, I've just put in the chat there, would love to hear from everyone sharing just something you're taking away from the discussions there. I had the joy of hopping around every single room, had some amazing discussions, would have loved to stay in every single one. So I've got many things I'm taking away. While you're sharing those, I'm just going to make some announcements before I hand back to the senior fellows. So there is no meeting in December. We have December off. The next meeting will be the final Tuesday of January, January 31st, and that will be split into two sections. The first half will be hosted by Dr. Eri Mountbatten O'Malley, who's Senior Lecturer in Education Policy at Bath Spa University, and he's in today's meeting. And I'll put a blurb in the chat about what that session will be on. It's on his exciting new initiative called Flourish Cafe. There's a link in there too. Oops, I'm sending that to Eri, not to everyone. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Right, there's a link in that as well. And Eri, if you want to share your email address in the chat in case anyone would like to get in touch with you about that, I'm sure many people would have questions. So you see a description of that. So Eri is going to chair the next meeting, end of January, for the first half. And then the second half, there'll be a networking session in breakout groups led by Matthew Lee. If any of you have anything you'd like to be disseminated in the email I circulate after this meeting, which I'll do later this week, please email it to me. I'll put my email address in the chat now. There you go. And if you'd like to invite anyone to join future meetings as a guest or a member, again, please email me. That is all I'll also reshare the links from today to, first of all, the Flourishing Network. Second, to our interest groups. There are descriptions of all of them on the website. And third, to our YouTube channel, where a video will be posted of this shortly. That's all I have to say. So I'd like now to hand back to the senior fellows to wrap up today's awesome meeting. Christine, Noemi, Amrita, Beth.
Thanks,
Emmy.
John.
Thank you. So I love seeing the comments that people are writing. There is a lot of overlap between some of the groups. So please feel free to email any one of the group chairs to find out more information about that. And collaboration moving forward, absolutely. I think that there's a lot of potential for that. Other senior fellows, are there any closing remarks?
I can chime in. Thank you everyone for joining. And of course, whichever rooms you went to, you're not tied to those groups and you don't have to pick just 2 or 3. I saw a question in the chat. So really just follow your passion and the conversation you'd like to have and go deeper with. And I think, you know, any of these groups are going to be incredible spaces for co-creating that flourishing. With that, I'll hand it back over to Emmy and Beth and Amrita.
Just gratitude to everyone for your engagement, and so exciting that we can be part of this all together. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, just to echo what Noemi said, follow your passion and your energy you don't have to select just one group, and it can be free flowing. So please reach out. We'll be in touch and continue to come to these networking meetings where we get to learn from all those who have something to contribute.
And maybe I can put in a shameless plug here. It just popped in my head. If anyone is interested in joining our daily breathing sessions, we offer that 9 a.m. CST every day. I can share the Zoom link with John. Maybe you can send it out to the network. It's an 8-minute session. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. So just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you.
course, please share it with me. I will share it in the email I circulate after this meeting. Right, we are at time, everyone. Loving the comments everyone's put in the chat about takeaways. This is wonderful to see. I will save the chat and disseminate it after this meeting. Otherwise, it's been an absolute pleasure today. Thank you so much to our senior fellows for leading this excellent meeting today. Christine, Beth, Amrita, Emmy, Noemi. Thank you, all of you, for chairing those of you who chaired the interest groups, and thank you for a wonderful discussion today. Have a great Christmas if you're celebrating Christmas, and New Year, and we look forward to seeing you at the end of January for our next meeting led by Eri. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, John.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone.